Welcome everyone to this edition of Looking at Louisville. I'm Chaz.
Hi, I'm Stacy.
And we are on the trail again, right Stacy?
That's right, Chaz. We are on Louisville's Urban Bourbon Trail.
Now let's talk about this because there's so many places to hit on the Urban Bourbon Trail, from restaurants to bars. Let's get into it.
We're going to show people how to do it. We are in the heart of Bourbon Country, and whether you have traveled here to get the bourbon experience by touring distilleries and going to nice restaurants, or whether you're a local and just want the ultimate in that bourbon culture, the Urban Bourbon Trail can really be your guide to experiencing the best bourbon bars in the city.
Now, if someone wants to find out more information,
that's right. There's basically a passport. It's the Bourbon Country passport. And you can pick this up at the Visitor Center downtown at 4th and Jefferson. You can pick them up at any of the stops that we're going to cover today. There's also a list online at bourbonCountry.com, and you can ask for it to be mailed to you before you even get to the city.
let's talk about this because we got a lot of places to hit. Let's talk about our first stop on this journey, which is at Dish on Market, which is right here in the heart of downtown.
That's right. We wanted to come to Dish because we wanted to show that you can do the Urban Bourbon Trail in one weekend if you wanted to. You only have to have 6 stops of the many stops on the trail to actually complete the passport and get your free bourbon t-shirt. And a lot of people like to do it in a weekend. Now, if you're local, you might want to take a month, a year, 2 years. There's really no timetable on it, but we wanted to show that it, in fact, could be done if you were visiting. You could get 6 stops in the weekend, breakfast, lunch, dinner for a couple of days in a row.
Now let's talk about the breakfast that we had here at Dish on Market. Great food and a lot
wonderful. The owner, Anderson, just brought us a lot of samples. We had biscuits and gravy. We had salmon on hash browns with eggs, and a steak and eggs, a petite filet with bacon wrapped, and then something really special. President Truman's, they call it the presidential, and it's actually what President Harry Truman had for breakfast every day, they say. It's 1 egg, bacon, fruit, toast, milk, coffee, and a shot of whiskey.
Whew, well, it doesn't get any better than eating that and then hitting the truck, because we're going to have to burn that off because we have so many places to go to, so I think we need to go get started.
Let's go.
Stacy, we've been blazing the trail and we made our way to the Highlands to have lunch here at the Avalon.
That's right. Here on hip Bardstown Road in the heart of the action is Avalon. It's a great place to have lunch, which we just did, or dinner or cocktails. They've got a great patio space when the weather's nice, and they even have a gift shop called Luna Boutique where you can pick up some great gifts, including some really unique bourbon accessories.
Now let's talk about the food here. And we had a lot. In fact, we have a lot of desserts here we need to do too.
A lot of work to do. We start with 4 appetizers. The deviled eggs with house-made hot sauce. Then we had the baked goat cheese, which had a roasted garlic and a tomato jam on it with lavash crackers. We had an iceberg wedge with Maytag blue cheese and really crisp bacon. I really liked the crunchy bacon on that. And their local vegetable chop, which is market vegetables in a ginger vinaigrette, which was really good. For lunch, we had a couple of things to choose from, and we all shared family style.
Big old family style lunch.
We had the bourbon Q chicken.
That was awesome.
Bourbon
Absolutely.
smoked pulled chicken on a pretzel bun with Gouda cheese and tobacco onions. We had the grass-fed beef burger with a local Kentucky cheese on that. And we had the fish, which was really good breading on the fish. And I noticed it was from a local flour mill, Weisenberger. So just really top drawer items on the menu here. And to mention, their lunches are all under $7.
Which is very reasonable on something like this, going out on the Urban
right,
Bourbon Trail.
right.
So let's talk about what we have here for desserts.
We have a creme brulee to start with. We have a triple chocolate brownie. Looks like we have a bread pudding with a caramel sauce on it, and then we have a skillet apple pie with vanilla ice cream and caramel on that as well.
So again, not only do they have great desserts, but they've also got some great bourbon drinks, right?
They really do. Very innovative. The two in front of me, the bourbon ball, Martini basically, with coffee beans
Really
floating
nice.
on top. Very nice touch of that. And this is basically like a white Russian with a vanilla infused Buffalo Trace.
And this one right here, what do we have?
That one, I just think you're seeing footage right now of the presentation on that. It was flaming. It's called the Pie Roses, like Pyro, Manhattan. And it's got a smoked cherry in there, just a really smoky flavor.
Now this won an award too, right?
This did win an award recently, yes.
So, a lot of great stuff going on here. And we still got a lot to do, so I think
We do.
you need to treat it. If I must say so myself, the Urban Bourbon Trail has grown tremendously since we last filmed it a while back. And look where we are now.
Chaz, isn't it amazing? It's just ever expanding. This is really, whether you're a bourbon beginner or a bourbon aficionado, the Urban Bourbon Trail just really provides you a cheat sheet of the best of the best. In any other city, in any other market, having 10, 20 bourbons on your menu would qualify you as a bourbon bar. In Louisville, we set the bar at 50. And then you've got to have bourbon cocktails. You've got to infuse bourbon on the menu, like Village Anchor is so beautifully done, which we'll talk about. But it's just, it's ever changing, ever expanding. For more information on these stops that are currently on it when you're in town, you got to go to bourboncountry.com for a list. You can download a free iPhone app, Urban Bourbon Trail.
Absolutely.
And it'll help you. But it's just a guide to the city's bourbon experience and culture.
Now let's talk about where we are. We're at the Village Anchor. And the great thing about it is not only did we come here to eat, but we also went downstairs at the Sea Hag, and they actually have a great bar, sports bar, hangout place. And you went down there and hung out with some friends and got to experience, they have bourbon, they got cigars outside, and it's a cool experience.
Every Thursday night they have a bourbon special. They do tastings with the bourbon brand and typically free cigars out on their patio, not inside. What a great time for that. But any other night you can get their full bourbon list. It's kind of a 2-for-1 really. The Sea Hag is kind of it's all in the same building but a separate bar. We're upstairs at Village Anchor in front of this wonderful fireplace, great ambiance upstairs. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we had for dinner.
Yeah.
We had 3 appetizers tonight. We had the deviled eggs. There were 3 different kinds.
They were very good.
One with a sun-dried tomato, one with mushrooms and a truffle oil, and then my favorite, a blue cheese stuffed deviled egg with bacon. That was really good. We also had something really unique. I've never seen this on a menu as an appetizer, the fried bologna quarters.
Oh, I don't eat bologna, but that
I do.
I
I love
on
it.
that one, right?
Yeah, that was great.
That was
on
really good.
Wheatberry bread with cheese,
awesome.
cut into quarters. For dinner, you had.
I had the grilled salmon, which was awesome. It came with asparagus, and it came with the rice, and then you had.
I had the fried chicken. It's his mother's recipe.
And we shared a little bit.
Myra. It was
really
wonderful with a country gravy. I got a side of spinach, and then I had some of Mark's pork chop that was marinated in a apricot bourbon glaze over jalapeno sauerkraut and a corn pudding that came in a little separate cast iron skillet.
And then yes, we had to have some dessert as always.
Did. This is the remnants of our carrot cake that was wonderful, and then we had to have their signature dessert, the owner's mother's recipe.
She's sitting literally right behind us.
Right there.
And the mother and the grandmother.
Yes, and it's a hot banana pudding with a mile-high meringue. It was just out of this world.
I mean, the whole experience of where the Urban Bourbon Trail is going and what people can do and infuse it with food and desserts and the experience of what bourbon's about. I've learned so much. Being a native Kentuckian, I've learned so much through this process about bourbon that I'm like, wow, I'm so proud because it's what, you said 200 years of bourbon, and it's 95% of the world's bourbon comes from our state.
That's right. There's this is the Bourbon Renaissance. There are a lot of new companies coming around that are doing micro distilleries, making a very small percentage. So they're not sort of cutting it. Some of them are Kentucky, some of them are elsewhere in America. They're not cutting into that 95% percentage yet. This is truly Bourbon Country, and Louisville is your gateway to it. You've got to come here if you are a bourbon fan.
So for more information about bourbon or about this episode, please go to Louisville.com. Of course, you can always send us an email, podcast to Louisville.com. And you can also find us in Facebook, YouTube, and in Twitter. So as always,
you are looking at Louisville.
And I'll see you real soon.
How much did
What's your name?
I just sniffed it. That just happens when I sniffed it. All right. I'm Chad. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome everyone to this edition of Looking at Louisville. I'm Chaz.
Hi, I'm Stacy.
And we are on the trail one more time, right, Stacy?
That's right.
What are you doing?